What is up, everybody? It's ConCon at the ConCon's Cantina. Already messed up. ConCon's Cantina podcast, and this is a bonus episode.
Yay.
That is well, actually in front of me, not even to my left or to my right. That is Chelsea. Chelsea, what is your tag that you go by?
Yellow Sunshine 92.
That was a little quiet. You can speak up.
Yellow Sunshine 92.
And we have my wife, Natasha. Obviously, she would be on the podcast at some point. And what do you go by, Natasha?
Tashi Station.
Aha. Star Wars fan at heart. So, this is a Cantina podcast, as you know. So,
welcome to ConCon's Cantina. What are you having? But remember, no droids.
I am drinking Old Forester's 1920. I got this from Costco in Florida, and it was a really, really good deal because it's a double bottle set. The retail of this bottle is about $65.99, and so actually the two that I'm getting is regular Old Forester and 1920, and the two of those together was only $72. So the Old Forester, this is a 115 proof. It is a bourbon. The finish, it's very oaky, and it's worth the money. Natasha, what are you drinking?
Bailey's in my coffee. Yeah, and a mimosa, some champagne and peach juice.
At the same time.
Homemade peach bellini.
Not at the same time. Let's make
No.
that very clear. We don't need people
She's
throwing up
mixing it
everywhere.
together.
No.
Chelsea, what are you drinking?
Oh, just a little something. I've got this thing called Tito's Vodka. I think you probably have heard of it before. I think. Is that something you might be familiar with?
Yeah, well, Natasha likes to claim she's from Texas, even though she was born in Sanford,
that's
Florida.
right. I forgot. Right. She's
Yeah.
such a Texas fan.
Oh, God.
And then I put a little thing
What?
called Simply Peach Juice in it.
Simply Peach.
Oh, Simply.
So
that's
it's
the brand.
basically a mimosa. but-
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. Or a screwdriver? It's a screwdriver.
It's a peach screwdriver.
Well, screwdriver. It can't be a screwdriver if there's no OJ, but we'll go with it. We'll go
Okay.
with it. It's a Phillips head.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a Phillips head.
Okay. All right.
That's
Whatever you
somebody
call it.
other screwdriver
Listen, we're
Is
tool.
that a real
camping.
thing, or did you just
We're-
make that up?
We're
Oh, I
going
made
with
it
what
up.
we've got.
All
Yeah.
right, just wondering.
So on this episode, we are going to be talking about Disney. Now, in other parts of the podcast, I've talked about that we will be talking about Galaxy's Edge. That will be a further episode. Me and Russell will get a deep dive. We are currently waiting for Justin to get his pass so that he can also visit Galaxy's Edge. We want to do it before and after. We're going to do an episode where we do Galaxy's Edge before Rise of Resistance comes out and after. We're hoping that the movie has some sort of effect on the land. So today, we are going to be doing a deep dive. Not even deep. It's a surface dive into
It's like a
The-
40-foot dive.
the parks here
Pretty deep.
No,
in
Ever
Orlando.
dove 40 feet?
it's a beginner's dive.
Okay.
Beginner's dive. No certification needed. This is a scuba dive.
This is an excursion on a
And
cruise ship.
there we have all the dogs.
Again,
Did you
we're
tell 'em where
camping.
we are?
Oh, yeah. I didn't tell everybody where
No.
we
Tell 'em
are
where we're
at Fort Wilderness, Thanksgiving weekend, which this probably isn't going to air Thanksgiving weekend. Like I said, this is a bonus episode. So we are out at Thanksgiving at Fort Wilderness. We're staying out here. We are going to be visiting some parks tomorrow. And with that is why we were talking about the parks here at Disney World in Orlando, Florida. So first, we're going to get into Magic Kingdom, my most hated of all
you
the
even been
parks.
there yet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, unfortunately, I have.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate occurrence.
We will get into why I hate Magic Kingdom and why I do not go and why I probably will never go again. No amount of money, no amount of Star Wars currency, no credits will get me back there again. But
Lord.
Chelsea, what is your favorite ride at Magic Kingdom?
I guess I would have to say Splash Mountain. There's just too many beautiful memories there from my childhood.
Yeah.
And I just can't imagine life without it. And if they ever took it away, they might as well just
Be a
burn the
sad
whole place
day.
down.
What's your favorite part of Splash Mountain?
Well, okay, so you've got a couple things there. You get to get wet, but not too wet. Just the right amount of wet, so you don't have to ruin the rest of your day. Okay.
Unless
but also
you're in
you
the
get
front.
Does your do
Unless
your
you're in the
shoes
front.
get the?
no, definitely not. Definitely not.
That is definitely the giant horses, aka
Danes?
Danes, that are barking.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Derby
We're
and
literally, guys,
Julep.
you don't understand. You'll see this on Instagram eventually for some context. There's literally going to be a picture. We are at a picnic table, and we are literally recording out here. That's the amazing thing. We use the Zoom H5, which allows us to have a studio pretty much anywhere we go, and that's what we're doing. So anyway, Chelsea, continue.
Okay. Also, better note, if your sister's on the right-hand side, you can get her soaked at the very end, so that's always a plus. And it's kind of cool because I can see her right now, and she's giving me some death eyes. Okay, the other reason why I like it is because the whole ride itself is a good size ride, whereas some rides like you've got your mine train is great, but it lasts so maybe 30 seconds, a minute, and
Not
it's
a
just
fan.
like it just goes by so quickly.
I like the line better than the ride.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
queue's
exciting
better.
in theory, but it's just over and done with, and it's kind of disappointing. So I like Splash Mountain because it's long, you get wet, it's fun.
You said you like the
It's
line
nostalgic.
better than the ride?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
line
queue
at
is
Mine Train.
awesome.
Have you been in it?
No.
No,
Well,
he hasn't even rode the ride.
You really should give Magic
Which
a
one's
better
Mine
chance.
Train?
The new one in Fantasyland, and it's the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and you go.
Weren't we just there? We didn't ride that,
No, it was like a 75-minute wait.
and that's why I didn't ride it.
Yeah, that's
And
why I didn't ride it.
I'll probably never ride it.
You should really go like extra Magic hours from like 9 to 11.
If we ever get a fast pass, we'll do it.
Don't we have extra magic hours this week
Yes.
for every park?
Yeah, in the morning and
But there's
Wednesday
the
at Magic
stupid,
Kingdom.
not stupid, special event right now, so they don't have that right now
No, they definitely have magic hours.
for other parks, but they don't have the late night ones because there's a special event every day from like 6 p.m. till something. So
Yeah, they've been recording a holiday special in Galaxy's Edge here in Orlando, actually.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's been pretty much all over social media. They were doing what's called Life Day in Star Wars, and Life Day is essentially Christmas, just without the Christ miscommunication of him actually
saw
being
that.
born in December. We won't get into that. Maybe another episode.
Maybe another episode.
But yeah, so in the Star Wars universe, we have Life Day, which was most prominently made in the 1980s holiday special. I believe it was the 80s. I'm gonna have to look that up. But yeah, they're recording a holiday special here in Orlando, Florida, at Hollywood Studios, just about the holiday special and Life Day. So, Natasha, what is your favorite ride at Magic Kingdom?
I like Space Mountain a lot. I think that's always my go-to favorite like coaster. I like that it's in the dark, so you never know what's coming next, and that you can't put your hands up because when you're tall, you put your hands up, you have the risk of touching the top of you.
Why can't you put your hands up?
I don't want to touch the beams above me.
think-
They're very close as you get taller.
Pretty sure like a basketball player went on there once
Yeah.
and his arms got chopped off. Pretty
I'm
sure I
not
heard
an
that.
8 foot tall person, but I don't want to risk it.
Yeah, so there's been like some stories. Obviously, accidents happen, and some
And
things
then
that
they
have
get covered
happened.
up forever.
Yeah, so that is something that has to do with Star Wars, Disney's actual insurance. I've heard this rumor where they get to actually claim that nobody has actually died on Disney property because they're able to pronounce people dead off Disney property. That way they can legally say that nobody's died at Disney, because obviously dying at Disney is not good for PR.
Wow.
No,
Yeah.
but well,
Does that make sense?
yeah, I don't know if I can say that on the podcast or anything, but
We're not sponsored by Disney. So.
okay. So I could say that's totally not true because I worked somewhere where 2 people died on property.
And tell people about where you worked, actually.
Oh God, I worked at Animal Kingdom.
No, we have to preface. You
Oh.
do have nice memories of working for Disney. In
Yeah.
fact, for the last couple of years, you've wanted to
I'd
go
go
back
back.
to Disney. I won't let that happen.
And also, I got offered a job yesterday
Yeah,
during brunch, so
we
he
have
basically
options.
said that I should be one of the Disney princesses, I think, but no big deal.
Just no big deal. It's fine. It's only a lifelong dream.
So tell people about where you opened in Star Wars.
I work.
Disney.
Yeah, I worked over at Animal Kingdom, in Dino Land, the most prominent of the lands. My least favorite. And I worked at the Boneyard, and I worked with the kids, and that was fun until I had to do 12-hour shifts on my feet in the blazing sun. And then I worked over at Primeval Whirl, which a lot of you know as the Carney ride. That just basically makes you want to like throw up and just jump off the ride at any moment.
So
Yeah.
tell them what happened.
Is
on
that
ride.
that's that coaster? I can't ride it.
That's
'cause
I
get
can't ride
sick.
it either. I'd have to do like test runs, like opening and closing runs, and I hated it. But it's all part of the job. No, so where you get on the ride, they actually put a mat in front of the tower, like control center box, because somebody didn't check the door before it dispatched to go around the corner and went to go in front of the tower to check the door and it whipped around because there was no button to stop it. And so now they have a pad in the front of the tower box, so if you step on it, the whole ride will stop.
So
So
that's
that
how
doesn't happen.
That's how somebody got hurt.
Yeah, they got whipped against the wall and rode alongside the family that was in the car the whole time.
So this podcast, once again, we are not dogging Disney. We do like
No.
Disney. Obviously, we live in Orlando, Florida. We have the luxury of going almost whenever we want. Me and my wife, Natasha, we are weekday pass holders. Chelsea, what kind of pass holder are you?
I am also a weekday pass holder because I refuse to go on weekends because that's when all the crazy 9-to-5ers go, and I don't want any part of that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so
Or people
it's
from out of town.
Yeah, super
It's no
busy on the
fun.
weekends, and
It's
you
just
know,
worth it for the money to just stay with the weekday pass.
yeah. Now it is a little bit. We can talk about that. I think it's way too expensive. So when I signed up for a weekday pass, I always used to hear my wife. And let me preface this: I always got into Disney for free. I have family that's worked for Disney. I've worked for Reedy Creek, which is the taxing district that all the property that Disney is on is a part of. So with that came, I was able to get into Disney for free. I was able to get in friends and family for free, whoever I wanted, actually. And now that I don't have that, my grandparents are up in age, and I don't want to ask them, hey, I want you to come get me and my friends into Disney or anybody else, because it's awkward, let's be honest. Anybody who works at Disney, everyone and their mom is asking them, hey,
Right.
can you get me into Disney? Because it's expensive. The average park is what, $98 a day?
No, I think it's like 110 now.
Oh, I
110?
checked at Animal Kingdom today. It was $137
Oh.
per
For the
adult
day?
for just the day at that park.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
I'm going.
No.
I'm going to spit out all my alcohol. That's a lot of money. But
Yeah.
Universal's that expensive too.
It
actually,
is. I just looked up
Yeah.
some tickets because we've
It's
had
like
passes
what,
for a while. We
98
actually,
or $100 a day, so at least it saves you like $40.
yeah.
But
and
still.
what's park hopper? Do you guys know what a park hopper's going for right now?
Disney
For I can look it up, but
for Universal.
no, for Disney, a park
Oh.
hopper.
Sorry, I was talking about.
I think a park hopper pass for Disney is like 200 something, maybe more.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. We also have Courtney,
don't
I think,
know.
looking it up. But
Courtney's our official liaison.
well, my point in that is that I Galaxy's Edge was released, and I want to say for a solid week, every day Natasha was begging me, and it was the perfect timing because we had a hurricane that just came through. What is it? How much
Per
is the park
day.
hopper?
So for one day, it's $233.
And that's a park hopper. You can go to
Yeah.
all 5 parks.
And for 3 days, it goes up to $550,
Yeah, that
which
is.
is nuts.
I think I read an article. This was some time ago. I don't have the article in front of me, and I definitely don't have a source for it. But the average family of 4 spends $15,000 to go to Disney World. I know
It's
that
crazy.
our last vacation was to Arizona. We stayed with family. Just getting out there and being out there for 7 days was still. I think we spent like $2,500.
I think it was 28.
No, it wasn't that high.
Really?
Yeah, it was somewhere between 22 and 25. I can't remember exactly. But even staying with family, so that wasn't even lodging, and we still spent that much money. So imagine a family of 4 coming out having to spend $280 plus a
Right.
night, to stay in a hotel to come out to Disney. That definitely gets expensive. But we are not here to diverge you from coming to any of the Disney parks. So for me, where is the barking coming from?
Sorry, y'all.
All the
There's a lot
dogs.
of dogs at this.
Like my God,
Campground this
like
year.
why people own a cat? Get a cat.
No,
Like cats don't bark, people. Like
no, but they meow really loud, and
No,
it's
I
super
know.
annoying.
no, listen.
Okay, mine do.
Get a cat.
Get
okay.
a cat.
Yeah, I brought the
That's the
cats in
message
last
from
night
this
because it was actually
podcast.
cold here in Florida, and Boba was losing his mind
Yeah.
in the bathroom. Unfortunately, our cats decided to
They
start
just like
peeing
to
on things,
Pee on everything.
and they are now. Anyway, we're gonna move past that. For Disney, my favorite ride by far is, and I'm gonna get the name wrong. It's the Buzz Lightyear ride.
Oh.
Which is
Buzz
Buzz Lightyear.
it's okay. It's
The one with the guns at the lasers at Magic Kingdom, right?
we literally got into an
Toy
argument
Story
about
Mania.
that is not Toy Story Mania. Toy Story Mania is at Hollywood Studios. We literally
Yes.
just got into an argument about this the other day. And I said it's not called
Okay, Toy Story Mania
Mania.
is the game one.
that is
Hollywood
at
Studios.
Hollywood Studios.
So you like Buzz Lightyear better, the one with the lasers. that you're
Exactly.
killing
It's-
Zurg.
but it's
and
not
all
called
his-
Buzz Lightyear. There's
Yes,
an
it
actual
is.
name. No,
Pretty sure
it's
it is.
Buzz
Okay.
Lightyear something. Anyway,
Mm.
that's my favorite ride. It's the older one, Toy Story Mania, which we're going to get to when we get into Hollywood. Hollywood Studios.
Because it
that-
spins you around a little.
Yeah, that one you can actually control your cart, which is interesting. At Toy Story Mania, which is in Hollywood Studios, you cannot control your cart.
Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin.
There we go.
Okay,
Thank
it's
you.
still Buzz Lightyear's
No,
ride.
I knew it. Listen, it wasn't just called.
I don't know anyone who calls it that.
Okay.
Buzz Lightyear's Ranger.
Well,
They call it Buzz Lightyear or just Buzz.
I
Okay.
also quick note. I was gonna say with my Space Mountain, I do love me a classic Peter Pan, or
Oh,
Once
yeah.
Upon a It's a Small World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
God, you bugged me about Small World the whole time.
Yeah,
The last time
It's a
we were there.
great leisure
Did
ride.
you do it?
Heck no, a bunch of little like mega
No,
tot children
The wait
toys
was
yelling
not
at me
10
the
minutes.
whole time.
It was not a walk on. It was like a 25-minute. I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, it was.
I
Really...
won't wait for rides that I know I
No.
can come back for and not wait for them.
And so, if we do have any advice for Magic Kingdom, and we're going to get into more Magic Kingdom details, download the Disney app and get fast passes. There is no
My
reason to wait 3
Disney
hours.
Experience.
What?
My Disney experience.
Okay, thank
was
you.
just
I
letting
mean,
them
you
know what
type
the name
in
of it was.
Disney, it's going to come up. I don't think the app's that intuitive, by the way.
It constantly crashes. So that's, well,
For a multi-billion-dollar company,
They
Yeah.
did a better
mean,
job.
yeah,
Yeah.
the app is,
some
and
new software maybe.
the reservation, I think they need to come up with a better reservation thing. There should be no reason why I'm being charged a fee for off-site restaurants. Like, if I want, there are restaurants at every single Disney resort, and you can make a reservation to make sure that you get a table. And if you don't show up for your reservation, you get charged. They give a deposit. And I understand that to a certain extent, but the off-site restaurants are not as popular as obvious in-store or in-park restaurants. I do think that's a little bit over the top as far as, maybe they could send you a reminder. They could send you a text. They could send, there's many things they could do to say, hey, like, are you still coming? What's the deal? How serious are, there's other things. So I do think they need to change that. So continue on Magic Kingdom. I know that I have a favorite food at Magic Kingdom. Do either of you, and it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
duh.
Yeah. So Chelsea, what's your favorite food
Mickey's
at Magic
Premium.
Kingdom?
Duh. Like, I've already been thinking about this whole time. Like,
The
as
ice
we've been
cream?
saying Magic Kingdom, all I can think about is just eating a Mickey's Premium ice cream. Like, that's all I want right now.
That's your favorite food.
because I'm
Food.
gonna get it later. No, that's my favorite food. It is. I will eat it for dinner. Do you understand?
So you're classifying your dessert as food.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the food there isn't anything to like write home about. Like
Like
he goes-
Hollywood Studios or Animal Kingdom. They actually have
Hollywood
good food.
Studios
Yeah.
has decent food, and Epcot for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like Magic Kingdom has nothing that like for me I can like comes to mind.
Okay.
Nothing that gets me excited. But for nostalgia and for deliciousness purposes, Mickey's Premium ice cream. Duh.
Mickey's Premium. So
And even better if I can keep all the chocolate from falling onto the ground.
Melting.
I
Yeah.
think I'm actually more frustrated that I'm saying this from experience. I just ate one like last week.
okay.
And a big chunk of chocolate fell on the ground, okay? And I was so mad about it. And I said to myself, like, I know this happened as a child,
Uh-huh.
but I'm more upset about it as an adult because I know better. Like, don't walk and eat your ice cream. Just sit.
If we
Just-
continue to tap on the table,
I'm just getting
this
upset.
aluminum picnic table
like
that we are
Godzilla's.
casting at, is reverbing through our stands.
I'm sorry. I
Okay.
got all worked up about it. I'm sorry. I'm fine now.
I totally fine.
Just get me my Mickey's Premium
Now,
and we'll be fine.
have you had other vanilla ice cream, chocolate covered ice cream bars? What is it about the Mickey's Premium? Do you think it has to do with the surroundings? Is it the nostalgia? Because I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's that good.
Oh, okay. All right.
I just got
No.
it's a Cow's brand. It's not Skinny Cow. It's another brand that's something Cow. I just got it at Winn
It
Dixie
probably is
grocery
awful,
store.
but continue.
Yeah.
Now Natasha will say it's awful, but it's not. Listen,
No.
vanilla ice cream is vanilla ice cream unless it's Bluebell.
Right.
Let's be real. Like, just cut the nonsense. If it's not,
It's not so much about the vanilla for me, it's the chocolate. It's a really good chocolate. The crunchiness and the amount of chocolate is just right. And I don't know, it's just the shape and yeah, I mean it's nostalgic. Get over it. Like
you know
vanilla
what the
shouldn't.
problem with Disney is?
What?
They don't have Dippin' Dots.
True.
I don't even like Dippin' Dots. My mother wouldn't let me purchase it because it was too expensive wherever she is.
Dippin' Dots is expensive, but
It is overpriced, but
Natasha,
I like it.
do you know what your favorite food is?
Pecosville has really good tacos
At
at Magic Kingdom.
okay,
It's over by like Adventureland,
I haven't had those.
like across from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Now I'm gonna be wary about you advertising food
Why?
because the last time you advertised food,
Listen,
I wanted to throw up everywhere.
What was this?
that
you
wasn't
speak
my
of?
fault though.
everywhere.
I didn't even like my food that time, and I was highly disappointed.
To give you some context,
We
Galaxy's Edge had just opened. And Natasha said, "Oh my God, you have to go ride the Pandora ride," which we're
Yeah,
going to get
Flight of
into that
Passage.
because I have a
Well,
lot of
I feel like
things to
we're-
say about Flight of Passage. You feel like we're what?
We're going over time here.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
no, it's
we're
fine.
we're only 16 minutes
Okay,
in.
good.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
don't
we gotta
worry.
get to Avatar.
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh,
Don't
we'll
worry.
get there.
Because
This-
especially after our experience.
Listen, this is going to be a
Oh my
long bonus
gosh.
episode.
All
Okay,
right, fine.
Bonus. Nobody has to listen to this. This is exterior content. Okay,
If you don't like it, get off.
exactly. Which we don't want
Get
you to.
out.
but,
No,
you know.
we want
But
you to love
but
it.
yeah, we don't want you to.
Yeah.
We love you.
Sorry.
So anyway, continue. We'll get into this when we get to Animal Kingdom. So you like these tacos?
Yeah, and I like that they have lettuce wrap options.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, they're really good.
Why is that important to you?
Because if I'm out at the parks all day and I just need to not eat all the extra carbs, it's really good. I like lettuce wraps better
Yeah.
anyway.
I mean, hindsight with the ice cream and the
Right.
sodas is
Yeah, if
carbs
you're having
really
a
the
full
forefront?
blown-
This is vacation.
Yeah.
For us, this is life.
Yeah, we
This
go
is
like
Disney
We go
life
all the
for
time.
and
us.
we go like once a week almost.
Yeah.
I'd say 2 to 3 times a month.
So
Yeah.
we can't just be like, oh, we're at Disney. This is vacation. Let's just eat whatever we want, because then we'd be
Right.
300 pounds.
And it does it can get expensive.
can.
So
Yeah.
with that being said, I think that my favorite food by far is at Magic Kingdom in America. We have the turkey legs.
oh,
Barf.
The turkey.
that's not what I was going to say.
Sorry.
Well, the turkey legs are like what? $10?
You do get a lot of meat,
Yeah, that's a lot of
You're a
food
man.
for $10. I mean, let's be real. It's not turkey. It's emu.
but is that a real thing?
We're spilling all of Disney's
I don't know if
secrets
it's a
this
real thing.
episode.
Yeah, I'd love to know if that was real or not.
Well, I
I
think
don't
we
know.
like to think it's real because it adds more context to the story of it's not really turkey, it's emu.
I guess.
I've shot a turkey. Their legs are not that big.
Because like the baobab tree, we all know it's fake. You know, I don't know.
Okay.
The ostrich eggs, come on.
All right. So, and for what ostrich eggs are real? What are you talking about?
No,
Just
no.
wait, you'll get there.
I would
We'll get
love
there.
to
We'll
eat
talk
an
about it
ostrich
when
When we
egg.
get to Animal Kingdom, we'll talk about
Okay,
it.
we'll talk about the ostrich eggs. Well, with that is Animal Kingdom. Oh, I didn't talk about my.
No,
I
Magic
did talk
Kingdom.
about my favorite ride.
Yeah.
Okay, so the things that I don't like about Magic Kingdom, which you can't get away from, there's absolutely no way. Magic Kingdom is on an island. So
Yeah.
what happens is if you park in the parking lot, you have no way around getting to Magic Kingdom but one of two ways: ferry and or the monorail. Now, the monorail has its own horror stories. We're not going to get into that. I'm not saying don't ever get on the monorail, but the ferry, I think, is the best ride. It's the most pretty. It's the most straightforward. I don't know if it's the fastest, but I think it's the most fun. The thing that stinks is when the park closes, getting out is an absolute nightmare.
Atrocious.
And that is why I stay away from Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom, the last time we were there, me and Natasha went there. Natasha was trying to recreate one of our first dates, which was very, very nice. And I appreciate her effort in trying to recreate that first
It's
date.
really sweet.
Yeah, so our first date, there used to be a willow tree on Main Street. She got key lime pie from a local restaurant that we liked, and we ate key lime pie underneath this willow tree. Since then, of course, Disney has crapped on our relationship and ripped out this willow tree. It is no longer there, and we went and we tried to recreate, this Disney
Magical moment.
magic.
The reason
quotes.
the willow tree is important is because that's both of our favorite tree.
Yes, the willow trees are cool. Thank you, Pocahontas, for molding the expectations of our
Grandmother Willow.
adulthood. So, because of that, the tree is no longer there. Natasha unfortunately mistimed the fireworks because they change frequently, hence why you need to download the Disney app and make sure that you are planning your trip accordingly. So we tried to leave, and we were basically leaving at the same time as everybody else, and it took us at least an hour from leaving the front gates of the park to actually getting to our vehicle. And that is because you don't walk out into a field where it is a parking lot where your car is. It is because you have to take this monorail and or this ferry to get to your car. So that is a drawback, but there's no way around that, so we're not going to harp on it anymore.
Whoa.
Epcot. Yes, I did that for the base. Epcot. I'm also not a fan of Epcot.
You're crazy.
What?
I will give a chance to both of you to tell me why I should go to Epcot. Now, Chelsea, I know you are famous for loving to have these discussions with me. I have absolutely no reason to ever go to Epcot except for one reason.
Okay,
I'll get
tell
to
me.
that reason. Oh, you want me to tell you now?
Tell me right now,
Okay.
because that way I can understand what I'm going to say next.
So
I know what it is.
the giant ball
Okay. This is
Is-
what you like?
is a ride
Yep.
because all the other rides suck.
Oh, that's not true.
Oh,
It-
you
it
haven't
is-
ever-
been on the new rides then.
Which
Have you
one?
been on Soarin'?
Are you serious?
Are you
what?
serious?
Are you
Soarin'?
serious?
You prefer the ball with
you
Grandma
prefer
telling a story
Spaceship Earth
over like feeling magical
and
floating
flying,
over Fiji and
soaring.
Fe-
stuff, smelling those beautiful thingy things, and like the
Tahiti?
manta rays swimming up in
I'm
there.
so glad you brought up that point. Yes,
Oh,
I
Lord.
would rather ride Spaceship Mountain than having a Pine Sol air freshener shoved in my
Spaceship Earth.
face
Oh my God.
over what apparently is the pictures of a drone flying over California. Okay?
Yeah, well, are we going to go to California?
I can get a
Probably not.
YouTube
so
video.
That's as close as we're going to get.
And go to Walgreens and get this air pine freshener and have the same experience. But we're going to get to that. Don't worry, because I will talk about my favorite ride. You'll talk about yours. Soarin' is not that bad. I'm being a little bit sarcastic.
You are.
But it is not the reason to go to Epcot. So, Epcot, what is your favorite food? Obviously, if you don't know, if you've never been to Epcot, Epcot is famous for the amount of countries that they have. I don't have the amount of countries off the top of my head, but to name a few, we have Mexico, we have France, we have Canada,
UK, Japan,
Japan.
Yeah.
United States of America.
Oh, yeah.
China.
Yeah.
Germany, Norway.
Wait. There's a China and a Japan section?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, it has been a while since I've been to Epcot, so I
Yeah.
do need to revisit. Now, I do know that they redid. Is the new fireworks show live now?
We have not seen it,
But it is live.
but it is live. It
Okay,
started,
so
like a week,
the date-
two ago.
The date today is November 25th that we're recording this. Not exactly sure when this will go live as a bonus episode, but as of November 25th, they had changed. Now, I did like the fireworks show before.
I
Th-
didn't.
You didn't.
No,
Oh, Illuminations.
I mean, are we
I just
like? Why
liked-
didn't you
Eh.
like it though?
I just didn't think that a ball with a bunch of stuff on it was that exciting. But I also don't like Rivers of Light, so there's that.
I mean,
I also don't like the new Magic Kingdom show. I prefer the old one.
But
Which
let's
is-
let's be honest. Every
yeah.
single fireworks show at Disney is kind of the same. It's a projected light on something with, like,
but see,
somewhat.
Wishes wasn't like that.
Maybe that's why I like Wishes so much.
Yeah, it was its own.
And also,
I've
show.
seen Wishes. That's the one where Tinkerbell comes down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Before
best.
Happily Ever After.
But I also think
That was the one we had
Wishes
before
just
this
had
one.
That like nostalgic Magic Kingdom feel that like brought up from your childhood. Like I mean, I went there after certain moments of
You
my
got to
life.
take nostalgia out of
And
it. Though.
don't
I
even
can't.
get me
That's-
started
You
on the
literally
Electrical
Magic
Parade.
Kingdom, Disney just is nostalgic for me. So I don't know what you want to do about that.
Yeah.
But it is nostalgic for you. But for listeners who have to spend these exuberant amounts of money, they've never been to Disney. You got to remember
I see
they
what
don't
you're
have nostalgia. They have
True.
the Disney Vault. They have a couple of VHSs that they had as they were adults that they showed their kids, and now their kids are going to Disney. We have to take a outsider perspective of what actually is Disney and what is worth going and what is not worth going.
That's really sad when you think about it.
I know.
Anyway,
Well, I mean,
Well, and that's why we're lucky. And
You can't be-
Natasha wants
yeah.
to move away from Florida, but she never will because she secretly is in love. Not even secretly, she is
listen,
definitely in love
I
with
can
Disney.
come back and visit. I have family that lives here.
Yeah, we're not moving.
anyways,
So Epcot. I like Mexico. I think that Mexico has very, very good margaritas. I'm not going to go into detail about food at Epcot. I think food at Epcot is subpar at best. I think it is very, very overhyped unless you are eating at the French restaurant,
The French restaurant.
the one that you have to have reservations for.
I've been at the Italian restaurant. They have to have reservations
Actually,
for.
I forgot. The English fish and chip shop that's
Yeah.
actually on the lake. That is definitely worth eating.
are we talking food and wine, or are we talking about just what's there all the
No,
time?
just what's there.
We
all
can
the
talk
time.
about food and wine. That's literally going to be part of the segment of Connor's Rants, which is also going to be a bonus episode because
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
complete ripoff.
I don't know if I can listen to that.
Probably not.
I'll just get frustrated.
Listen, this is
And
how you're
that's why you're here.
this is how you're going to listen. You're going to sit down. You're going to buckle up because it's going to be a ride.
Oh Lord.
That's how you're going to listen.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
So Chelsea, what's your favorite food?
Can I do the food and wine festival? Can I count that as my
Is
favorite food?
well, let's try to narrow it down to a country.
oh goodness.
So they actually have it there. So I
Okay,
guess
that's
it's
fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
because part of the rant is there's actually nothing special about food and wine because it's the food they serve year round. But continue.
okay, all right. So in Canada,
Given the facts.
during food and wine, but I've never been to the restaurant because it's a really small. So anybody who's actually listening to this and wants to know this, if you're making reservations, you have to make them ahead of time because the restaurant itself for Canada is very small, so it's really hard to
Oh,
get reservations
it
last
is.
minute.
Yeah.
Because I've tried several times and they're always super booked.
Hence the Disney app.
Yeah, but I don't never know when I'm going to Disney. I just show up. Anyways, they have a filet mignon with a truffle mushroom sauce on top of it.
Yeah,
and they
it's
have it at the stand during the food and wine, and they also have it at the restaurant. But it's fantastic. It's very, very tender, hence the filet mignon. It's
So
truffly. It's delicious.
you've only had this during food and wine.
Yes, but
Not
I've had
in-
it every year for several years.
Do you know? Thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
Do you
I have to have it every year.
every year?
Every
Every
year.
year.
Yeah.
I had it already. I'm
But
good,
have you had it
which is
in
good
the
'cause it's
setting of
done.
in the restaurant, not in Food and Wine?
No.
Okay.
Which is nice because I don't always necessarily want to go. Like, I like Epcot for the ability to go around and have a little bit of each thing. I don't always necessarily want to go there and spend $1,000 on dinner. I like the option that I can go around and just have like a snack or split something with my husband or whatever. So I like that during the Food and Wine, I can have that little piece and not have to drop $50.
Gotcha. So, Natasha?
I like Mexican food, so I'd say Mexico or the fish and chips, like you said. Fish and chips was my first choice because I can't get that everywhere, like good fish and chips.
Mm-hmm.
The only other place I could get good fish and chips is like St. Augustine.
Are we going to talk about drinks?
Oh,
Or just food?
oh no, we'll get to drinks.
Okay,
Yeah.
Just wondering.
We are a
Um,
Cantina podcast,
but
so
I do
of course we have
love-
to talk about drinks.
Mexico's, tacos.
And that's I did say that Mexico, I think, does have actually good margaritas. But there are 2 places to get margaritas, and they actually are different. So
They're very different.
yes, actually 3 places now that I think about
Yes.
it. There is the margarita stand.
Mm-hmm.
There is the restaurant
Inside.
on the lake,
Right.
and then inside restaurant at the actual
Which I have
Mexico
very
ride.
firm opinions on.
There's a little cart, like a little stand outside of the.
To the left. To the left of the
To the left, to the left.
of the Mexican
Cha-cha-cha.
Mayan ruins.
Audio
Yeah.
listeners, both of these women are dancing.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Can
Yeah.
you tell?
Oh god.
So, I'll just go with my favorite for Epcot. I said it before. I literally forgot about fish and chips. So England does have kind of their own little stand. It is only on the water, right? They don't have an actual slated out giant section of a country like all the other countries.
No, they do.
They do.
They do have. There's more. There's a whole tea shop. There's a whole shop where you can go inside.
What about
Um,
London?
You can
Or
buy
UK?
like a Beatles shirt, a couple other things like lots of different
So
stuff.
where are we
there's
going tomorrow?
There's kind of like a Scotland section. Too.
I don't know yet.
Did we didn't decide where we're going tomorrow? Because I feel like I need to go back to Epcot.
We should
Let's
go to
go.
Epcot.
Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely.
At least we can start at Epcot and then go, to Galaxy's Edge because that's the only thing I care about.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Sounds good.
So anyway, England, they have fish and chips. And the thing that I remember most, and of course this is playing into the nostalgia. I just said not to take into nostalgia, but I know that they still do this. So this isn't even nostalgia. This is actually good. They have a piano player that's live
At
in the fish
Casey's?
and chip shop.
Oh, we're still at Epcot. My
Yeah,
bad.
we're still at Epcot. So that's me, England fish and chips. I want to say it's $15.99 for fish and chips. I think it's a decent amount of food. You get
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
cod fillets that are deep.
And they're huge.
Yeah,
And the
deep
fries
fried and
are good.
fritter. Yeah, and the fries are definitely good.
And there's a nice
Um,
sitting section, which is I know is
Mhm.
stupid, but like sometimes there's just not, and there's a nice area
Yeah.
right by the water.
Yeah.
And they do
if
have
you
a full
can't get
bar.
Wow. If you can't get a seat there, you can go sit anywhere inside UK as well.
Yeah.
Which is
And-
nice.
And
pretty.
did we talk about favorite drinks? My favorite drink is definitely the margaritas at Mexico on the lake. It's actually the restaurant that's on the lake. There are 2 other places. Chelsea, what was your idea on the drinks?
Okay, so the place inside of the ruins
Uh-huh.
is
Mhm.
so amazing and delicious,
Yeah.
which is probably my favorite too. I hate to be the same, but it is definitely probably my favorite.
My favorite thing
Um,
is on the ceiling in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It makes
really
you
cool.
feel it's very
like you're
Aztec-y.
inside. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But that place has gotten so popular and always has such a long line that they decided to put an outside quick service margarita area. But the difference is that the margaritas to the left of the ruins outside are pre-made, ready to go,
Okay.
and the ones inside are actually made to order and a lot better.
Fresh.
So
Inside
I never,
the restaurant.
Yes.
Inside.
No, inside.
inside
the
the
restaurant.
ruins.
Yeah, inside there's 2 restaurants. There's the lakeside restaurant
Yeah, no.
and then there's the inside ruin restaurant.
Inside the
Right.
ruins.
So I
Inside
think
the
the
down or to the
consensus
right.
here is stay away from the stand, which is pre-made.
Yeah.
Which is exactly
Both of the ones outside are not as good because they're pre-made.
Yeah.
no. The one on Lakeside is made to order as
It
well.
is? Okay.
It is. It is
It
made
is.
to order.
Okay.
Because that's the original. Remember, Mexico did an expansion.
Mm.
It used to only be a nacho stand,
Yeah. You're
and
right.
then it became
Forgot
a
about
full service restaurant.
No.
So there's only outside seating, but you have to have reservations to get into the actual temple, where there is a ride, which is actually my second favorite ride at Epcot. There is a Mexico ride. I do like that ride.
Mexican boat
Just
ride.
side note, San Angel Inn is actually pretty decent to get a reservation last minute. Just in
Yes.
case
Oh,
anybody's
yeah.
wondering.
So Natasha, favorite food at Epcot?
I thought we discussed this. Fish and chips.
Well,
Or
that was mine.
tacos.
Is that yours also?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Favorite drink?
Grapefruit beer. I always have to get a grapefruit beer when I go through Germany.
Is that kind of like how I always have to get that blood orange
Yeah,
Yeah.
the cider.
Yeah, the cider.
That, or I'll go through and get a boba tea. They have, okay, side note, I always forget about this. I tried it once and I want to get it again. In Japan, no, China. In China, they have a little stand
Uh-huh.
across from,
You're just like Justin. You
I know, I
cannot
keep
use
hitting
hand
it.
gestures.
they have like a cantaloupe vodka drink,
Okay.
and it's so good. It tastes like you're drinking juice, and I don't like vodka. So if I taste it, I can't do it. But it's really good.
So let's move on to Animal Kingdom. Ah! I love Animal Kingdom.
Is that your favorite park?
It's not my favorite park.
Oh,
you know
oh,
why?
duh.
Hollywood. Okay, it used to be my
Right.
favorite park.
Before
Galaxy's
Galaxy's
Edge.
Edge.
Galaxy's Edge.
Is his just favorite park. And it's Galaxy's Edge by itself is his
Listen.
favorite park.
Self-proclaimed king of Batu East.
Oh, Lord.
East.
Okay, we have a Batu West. Mike, you are definitely the king of Batu
Mr.
West.
Rexon.
Rexing around, but sorry, I am the king of Batu East. And he hated Batu East, and I don't blame him. Florida does kind of suck. The weather is horrible. The cast members,
So
listen,
hot.
they're doing the best that they can. They're dealing with a lot of people who don't speak good English. They're dealing with a more popular park. Disney World is way more popular than Disneyland. So Animal Kingdom. I can't go into a ton of detail about my favorite food because I never got a lot of food at Animal Kingdom. The last eating experience we had was not because the food was bad. It was because the sauce that I picked was bad. Now, Natasha, we had food due to your advice at Pandora.
Per my terrible guidance, and I do apologize because I ended up getting the same sauce, and it was disgusting.
But I figured it out. So when it comes to some Asian cuisines, especially Mongolian cuisines, which I kind of feel like this is based off of, meats.
Pandora's food, by the way.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Satu-
But what it's based
How do
on,
you call it?
Satuli Canteen?
Satuli Canteen. That's right.
I feel like you are dipping the meat in the sauce that you pick. It is not to be poured all over your entire meal like I did.
I disagree.
No, that's how it's supposed to come. That's how
You're supposed to pour it. Okay, well, and that's where we get into mine was horrible.
Right.
But if I can take the taste of the sauce out, which was very vinegary, I don't remember the one that I picked.
It was the same one I got. It was like an herb thing because I thought it was a
Yes,
chimichurri
it was
sauce.
like a garlic herb. Yes, Chelsea.
Okay, so here's something cool that I learned as soon as that place opened.
Okay.
The cool thing about it that everybody would first think, oh, cool.
Air quotes for
Air
our
quotes.
audio
The
listeners.
cool thing
The cool thing.
is that you get to pick your base, you get to pick your meat, and you get to pick your sauce.
So
for people who haven't
side,
been there.
protein, and then sauce.
Right.
Yes.
So the cool
And
thing,
vegetable.
people like options, right?
Yeah.
But there actually is specific ones that are supposed to go together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like anywhere you go, if you put the wrong sauce with the wrong thing, it's not going to taste very good. So
Well, that's
And
why I
it's
thought
not-
I was getting the chimichurri sauce
so
for
the best thing
steak.
to do, in
but
case
it wasn't
you're wondering, in
the right
case you're
sauce.
wondering when you go, okay, is to get the sweet potato hash or the
Mhm.
potato hash
He
Okay.
doesn't like
with
sweet
the
potatoes.
beef, with the cilantro lime.
Yes. See, that's
That
when
is the pair that's supposed to be together.
right.
Now they don't tell you that, and
No,
that's
they
part of the
don't.
problem.
And I don't know how I found that. I think I read something somewhere.
Yeah.
Well,
it-
that's-
And that's what I get every time. I
And
did get
that's
it with the salad, and that's really good too.
and that's exactly why we're doing this episode.
They
is
used to call it
Secret
chimichurri,
things that you found out.
but they
from
stopped calling it chimichurri sauce, and I didn't know they changed it to the cilantro lime, so that's what confused me.
So, Chelsea, what is your favorite food at Animal Kingdom?
Well, that's really good. What I just said. So there's that.
Yeah.
That can be it. Pandora
No,
is
I want to bring
the-
something up to someone's attention because,
Gotcha.
dear God, Disney, if you're listening to this, just know that me and my sister are very upset. At this place
they're
called-
all ears, Mickey ears. You know
Okay,
how big
good.
they are.
They're listening. Okay. At the Yak and Yeti
Yak and okay,
in India.
let
Wait,
me
hold
let
on,
me
let
get
her-
this out here. Due to my work, which I will not disclose, there has not been a harder working restaurant I have ever seen in my life with more demand than Yak and Yeti. Continue.
Okay. So you like them.
I'm not going to say that I like their food, but their workers work very hard.
Okay.
I think they're dealing with a demand that is too big for them,
Above their
completely above, and
Hey.
we have more dogs barking. Chelsea,
Yes.
Yak and Yeti.
Okay. So you go there, right? You get a kale Caesar salad.
Okay.
Okay.
Kale
they
and
have-
Caesar don't
that
go
sounds-
together.
No,
Let's-
dude.
No.
They do though.
It's good.
They do here.
Oh.
Chelsea makes a
okay.
really good one.
And there's Parmesan
Mhm.
Crispies in it.
Okay.
Okay,
Tell me
so
about the Crispies.
We get
they're
those at the
they're
store.
Parmesan. Okay. And they're flat. and they're crispy. And so
Okay.
they add this deliciousness to the salad.
It's
so
like a
when
Parmesan
when you are
chip.
like me and my girl Tashi, aka my cousin.
Yep.
I said it. He wasn't listening.
Nope.
Can I point out that Rihanna has never had a bit o' honey? Where were you
Neither
guys
have I.
born? Like bit o' honey is like one of the best.
They don't know who Rihanna is.
Rihanna is my sister, by the way.
She's listening.
Tashi Station sister.
Anyway, continue.
So, anyways, they got rid of it, and I'm really upset about it.
said the
So,
wrong
if
one.
they're listening, if there's a Disney god, please bring back the salad because we need more healthy options. That's all I have to say.
Okay, more healthy options. I would agree. I don't
Yeah.
think there's a ton of healthy options.
Yeah.
Not
Natasha,
enough.
what's your
Because
favorite
the
food?
salad they brought back, or the salad they changed it with, is not good.
Right now, I've actually never been to Yak and Yeti. I've always wanted to go, but if they don't have that, I don't want to go. I like the Satuli Canteen. I
And-
like the.
and we're not going to talk about price points. Just know when you're going to Disney,
It's expensive.
to a
Yeah.
certain extent, you are going to overpay for food. You don't have any other option except leaving the park and going somewhere else.
just
Anyway,
forgot.
continue.
I just remembered something. Okay, I like the sweet potato hash with the beef and the cilantro lime sauce.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay, I did forget to point out that at Magic Kingdom, going back to that, at the Harbor House. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Okay.
That's Disney Springs.
no,
it's not. No,
That's
she's- it's
Boathouse.
not. It's in front of the Haunted Mansion.
We do need to move quicker.
I
so
know.
Continue.
It's the pot pie. The chicken pot pie is
Oh,
so
okay.
good.
Good to know.
So good.
Good to
I
know.
always forget about that, but it's delicious. So anyway, continuing on.
Favorite ride at Animal Kingdom has to be the safari for me. There's just no other. You're not going to see animals in more of a natural environment. It is not a zoo. I have been to various zoos in the United States, 7 to be exact. It is very natural. I do think it was second best to the Busch Gardens Tampa safari experience, but due to money hunger and management change, Busch Gardens Tampa no longer allows you to go on their safari for free, which used to be known as the Rhino
What?
Run. Yes, you now have
Wow.
to completely pay for their safari experience.
That's pretty crazy.
Dumb.
Chelsea,
Avatar, duh.
Avatar,
Yeah. Flight of
Natasha?
Passage.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Passage.
It's unlike anything else at Disney,
Um,
and it's worth. If you are only in town for a couple days, you have to do it. It doesn't
Even
matter
if
how
there's a
long it
wait,
is. It
just
is
wait
unlike
for
anything
it.
I'll ever do.
I will say
Because the
that
queue is amazing too.
if you had to choose
So
between
pretty.
the two, of the safari and Rite of Passage,
Are the wait times the same?
Flight of
the
Passage.
wait times are both 3 hours. You
Oh,
have
Flight of
no
Passage.
you have no fast pass.
Can I get a drink beforehand and walk around with it?
No, you cannot.
What?
You have to
Wow.
single-handedly wait in line with no snack, no water, and no bathroom break.
Flight of
3
Passage.
hours.
Yeah, Avatar. Yeah.
Avatar.
I would not want to sit in the queue and listen to that chick talk
And
about
and
the
here's another
animals
reason
the
why
whole time.
the
Back in Africa.
most of
the-
oh my god,
It's a bad.
most of
She's
the,
not
if
even
you're,
African.
If you're in Florida, okay, most of the time it's going to be really hot, and if you're waiting 3 hours, I would rather wait indoors in Avatar.
Oh,
Right.
yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
Safari
it
is
It is
outside,
outside.
and my grandfather, who's
Although-
right behind me, has fainted in the Safari line. So I would
Let me
also
just
choose
point
Avatar off
out-
that point.
Okay.
There need to be a couple extra fans in that Pandora queue because the last time we waited for 30 minutes and it was
It was not 30
so
minutes.
humid.
It was not 30 minutes, by the way.
The line said it was 30 minutes and it was probably like 45,
I will say,
but it was so humid.
you know, and obviously
bad.
Disney Plus being a thing of this podcast, it is cool to kind of see Pandora brought into a real perspective. But we have to move on. So Hollywood Studios, my favorite park,
We know, we've heard it.
and there's more than one reason. Toy Story Land is amazing.
It is.
And also Galaxy's Edge. Now, listen, I'm a Star Wars fan. The most
You are?
toxic community ever.
Did you know that, Natasha?
Nope, not
Oh,
a,
okay. I
I
wasn't
had
quite
no
sure.
idea.
The most toxic community ever.
Ew,
Okay.
Stop.
They're toxic. I get it. Okay. I used to, I can be toxic. I gotcha. Last Jedi, not my favorite. Okay.
Nah.
But we're going to move past that. Okay. Hollywood
Was that your
Studios.
favorite, Chelsea?
No, I just when Connor starts talking about Star Wars, it makes me anxious.
And that's why we have pop filters for that laugh. We just spiked up
She's
the audio.
a funny person.
Beware audio.
Half
or
of it is her
headphone,
laugh.
headphone users. Okay. So Hollywood Studios, my favorite ride has to be, it's still not Smuggler's Run. Smuggler's Run needs so much to be desired for. I think the wait time is too long for how long the ride is.
Yeah.
There is not enough detail as to what makes that ride work. When we are going on other Disney rides or other rides at other theme parks in general, if there's an objective, if there's a theme, the park does a very good job of telling you how to do it and why to do it. Smuggler's Run in no way, shape, or form tells you what to do and why to do it. We get a very brief introduction with Hondo where he goes, oh, blah, 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 blah. You're with Chewie. You are on the Falcon. All this, that, that, that. And he does not tell you in any way, shape, or form what to do and why to do it. All we have to know is we have to get the coaxium. He does not, and there's no details given. So for my experience, I've ridden this ride at least a dozen times. Okay.
Really? That many?
Yes, I've been there many times without you.
Well, I know that.
That led you forget. So my experience is as long as you are not spamming the fire button, okay, you engineers, and as long as you are following the visual cues and you are not spamming buttons, you will get a higher score. But as many other podcasts and many other people have brought out, there is an additional scene where you come into this asteroid field and there's no rhyme or reason why you get this asteroid field. This allows you to get extra points. You then ensue TIE fighters where you're fighting them, and there's just absolutely no explanation as to how to get there or why to get there, or anyway. So even with that being said, my favorite ride at Hollywood Studios is Toy Story Mania. In Toy Story Mania, you have a cart that you do not have control of, unlike at Magic Kingdom. In Buzz Lightyear's range, we had a whole thing about what the actual name is, and I don't remember it. So we're going to call it Buzz Lightyear's, unfortunately.
Ranger Spin?
Ranger Spin. And in Toy Story Mania, you get a pull cord. You then get to throw pies, darts, balls, and other forms of objects at targets. You rack up points, and it gives you a monthly, a weekly, and a daily score where you actually get to compete against other things. And with that being said, that is what Smuggler's Run is missing. I need an actual scoreboard where I can compete against other people, because my individual score means nothing when I can't flaunt it over other people.
And when the person when you get out just says,
Super
wow, you did
competitor.
horrible. That's what all I've gotten so far.
And another part of that is
Only
that
feedback
horrible?
I've received.
at least
When you
in
get out of the cockpit, I've always they just look at me and go,
Oh, yeah,
like,
they
you
did. They-
horrible.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah. They're like,
And
welcome back.
and that's
like
you were
crap.
crap.
And that's part of the problem, guys. Listen, this is a pretty realistic ride. When you're driving your car and you need to make a left turn, do you turn the wheel 100 degrees? No, you turn it 20 degrees. You're making a turn. You're not trying to put yourself into a side spin, people. Listen, Grandma from Idaho, I'm talking to you, okay? Going full to Grandma have really just gave me the eyes. Going 100 degrees to the left is not going to fly the Falcon any better, okay?
Yeah.
Listen, it is gentle. Okay, we're caressing this Falcon. This is a her. They refer to it as a her.
It's a garbage pit.
It's what?
It's a piece of garbage. It's a piece of junk.
Oh my God,
Thank you.
Natasha.
The quote is what a piece of junk, but we're gonna move past that.
No, Ray says that's garbage, right?
She does.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does say that's
See?
garbage. You're right. Okay, Chelsea, what is your favorite ride? Mine, Toy Story Mania, by the way.
Yeah, you just
Continue.
said two. I feel like you just took the.
Well, I want Smuggler's Run to be my favorite ride, but it's not, because there's so
It's
many
not
things
quite there
wrong
yet.
with it. Yeah, there's a lot of things that's wrong with it.
Hey guys, Connor and the rest of the Cantina crew are about to get into some info on the brand new Rise of the Resistance attraction opening at Galaxy's Edge. At the time of recording this bonus episode, there was actually a lot of misinformation floating around the internet. We have since learned that the ride is still set to open on time, December 5th. There will also actually be a live stream on December 4th with X-Wing drones flying over the park, which should be pretty cool. So enjoy the conversation, but just ignore the dates that were thrown out.
All right. Okay. So prefacing this, I'm really excited. December 5th, they are releasing the newest Star Wars rides. So
Yeah.
maybe my answer will change
It got
in a couple
delayed.
of days. What? I'm sorry. Huh?
Completely delayed.
Why? Till when?
How
Tell me
long?
what.
So California had a lot of rides. First of all, I don't know where this idea that the ride was coming out in December 5th ever came about.
I don't know, but I literally wrote it on my calendar, and now I'm gonna have to change it.
And you're right, because
Bummer.
I remember December 5th too. And I don't think it was ever supposed to come out on December 5th. I feel like that was PR and that was hype type of stuff, because the movie doesn't come out until December 19th. So why in the world would
Yeah.
we give a Rise of Resistance themed ride that could possibly spoil parts of the movie before the movie actually comes out? Doesn't make sense. That is to build anticipation hype, to keep people from
On their
not
toes.
renewing their passes because prices went up, which almost kept me from buying my pass in the first place, and on multiple conversations had kept my wife from renewing her pass. California has had problems with their Rise of Resistance ride. Now, they had some water damage come in. Now, the reason why this is because this is a trackless ride. What this means is most of the rides that we have at Disney are based on a track. Even if you are on a boat, the person actually steering the boat, the Jungle Cruise, they're not actually steering the boat. Newsflash, guys. we can't put our hands
Yeah.
in a 17-year-old who was given a 5-minute pitch on why this fake iguana is cool. Okay. Like, it's not a thing. Listen, guys, look at this elephant, and we give a whole bunch of statistics about it, and I obviously cannot read that while I am doing a podcast. Thank you. So, anyway,
Sources
they've
say
had a lot of problems with the trackless ride. One of which starting in California, which was the part of that California Disneyland. They filled it all with concrete because they were never going to use that part of California again. So when they demolished this, it was kind of like a petting zoo type thing. When they demolished this and they decided this is where we're going to use Rise of Resistance, they had to then start excavating these giant chunks of concrete to create this trackless ride. So the driver, in a sense, will actually have a bearing on you getting on and getting off your vehicle, whatever it may be. So it is currently delayed due to they want California and Disney World to come out at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is no longer December 5th, unfortunately.
Well, they need to update their.
Well-
And Ben and Robin completely planned
On
their
there.
vacation
Yeah,
around
that
this ride
stinks.
opening, and it's not going to be open.
That
And
stinks.
the really sad part is they haven't given a lot of PR, public
No.
representation of this ride being delayed. It is 10,000% delayed. And anyway,
Because I just read an article last week saying, like, don't forget about this ride coming out with all of the hype going on with Mandalorian and the other movie coming up. So,
Mandalorian will
ready to
have no
go.
bearing on that.
I
ride,
can see
just
why
putting
they would
that out there.
postpone it because of spoilers. Because I was actually assuming it didn't come out until after the movie, anyways. But I'm also seeing that, per source, cast members that work there have told friends that it's supposed to still come out this 5th.
per some secret sources
But that was
we have
before news
access
about it
to.
being delayed. So probably is still delayed then.
Well, we will see.
Indeed.
We will find out.
We will find out. Favorite food at Hollywood Studios for me.
Well,
Oh, what favorite ride?
No, go
Yeah.
ahead, because it'll give us time to think about it. I can't.
You don't
think
have a
on the
favorite
spot like
ride?
that.
I have a favorite food.
I said my favorite. I had said
Hers
that
is Toy Story Mania.
Oh,
Yeah.
Slinky Dog is
No, it's
in
too
the top
short.
5.
it's good.
It's really good, but the line is way too long.
yeah.
We need
like
we
the
need more car.
I like the competition.
Well, this is what happens when you make a small coaster and you call it a roller coaster. Can we please finally trademark Kiddie Coaster? This is not a roller coaster.
No, roller coasters have loops and corkscrews.
Rock and roller
things.
coaster at best is a roller coaster.
Which
at its
brings
worst,
me to
it's a kiddie coaster.
no.
Yes.
I was going to say, since you keep skipping over me,
I'm not skipping over you. Please give me your favorite ride.
Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster are my favorite. I can never pick between the two. It's always neck and neck.
So we did just, that is an interesting sight, audio listeners. I'm literally watching a kid ride a bicycle while controlling an RC car. Can't
doing a
say
pretty good job, too.
I've ever seen that. I'm not sure what the connection is between actually
You can hear
riding
it.
a mobile bicycle and controlling something mobile at the same time. That's ADD at its finest. Anyway, so what's your favorite?
Food?
No.
Ride.
Yes.
Oh, I said Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster are close. I can never
Why
pick.
is Tower of Terror even in the top 2?
Oh, well, I've liked it since I was like 4.
And my Aunt Stephanie is throwing her hands up in disbelief that the connotation that Tower of Terror would not be in the top 2. Listen, Tower of Terror cannot talk is very short. Okay.
No.
The drop is very small.
It's yeah, it's
It is very small, and I'll
It
tell you why.
changes.
It's built on a giant hill. Okay. It is extremely deceiving how big the drops are. I barely lose my stomach.
You
Come
haven't gotten
on.
old enough yet.
Coming from the person who gets sick on teacups.
You're right, but I
yeah,
will.
tell them about what you did with me on the teacups.
What did I do to you on the teacups?
Oh, okay. So, folks,
Oh, I did spin it like nobody's business.
And then
Connor and I had just met on a magical day at Magic Kingdom.
It
okay?
wasn't magical.
It
but
wasn't
continue.
magical.
was this
okay?
you, me, Caden, and him? Was
No.
this that? Oh, no, it was
no, it was a big group, but I had just met him. We were having this like nice time, and we had some bonding moments where we talked about like our lives, and we were in the line, and then you said, and I quote, "Hey, I don't like spinning this ride. Does anybody want to come with me? And I won't spin it." And I was like, "Yes." And we just had this bonding moment. There was this trust that you had built between you and I. And I said,
Broke.
"Yes, I will be glad to go with you and not spin because as I get older, it's really hard." And a couple other people went on it. So we get in, we lock in, the door's shut, and he looks at me. He goes, "I was just messing with you." This thing's gonna spin faster than you've ever seen it.
Listen, if I'm
And
gonna
I
get sick,
almost barfed
everyone else
because
is
of you.
gonna get sick.
Anyways,
And let me
let's
tell
move
ya.
on.
All right, we have to get going. So, favorite food for me, right when you walk into Hollywood Studios, you will notice that once you walk down Main Street, the park will then split into a T. You can either go left towards Indiana Jones and or Galaxy's Edge, or you can go right, which is toward Tower of Terror and Toy Story Land. My favorite food is right there to the right. You venture to the right, there is a farm stand, and they have burrito bowls that are kind of like Chipotle. For $12, you can get a very healthy serving of black beans, rice, and pork and or chicken and or steak. I think that is the best bang for your buck. It is $12 and it is very good. Chelsea?
I would say just the Sci-Fi Diner. I would I'm not a big fan of any of the fast food there. It's all typical like burgers, French fries, and stuff. So I really like to just try to make a reservation, or honestly, a lot of times you can just squeeze into the back at Sci-Fi. It's really cool. For anybody that hasn't been, it looks like you're at a drive-in movie theater, but they're playing like clips of sci-fi movies, and you get to get
All in
sit
black
in a
and white.
car. It's all in black and white. You get to sit into an old style car
50s.
1950s cars that have a little table in
Are
front
they
of you.
Thunderbirds?
You have tableside service, and they have burgers and other different things. But what's cool is they normally have like a seasonal burger, and they had this one. Do you remember it, Tasha?
Yes.
Oh my God, they had this like goat cheese or herb
It was not on the
cheese
menu last time we went.
fried on top of a burger, and it just like melted. It was fantastic. That's my favorite food.
Natasha?
They got rid of my baked potato
Where?
over at the market, over by Rock and Roller Coaster.
The same farmer market that I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Got you.
It's like the Sunnyside Market or something.
Yep.
And they now have like a salad there and stuff, but I don't really know. I don't really have a favorite at Hollywood Studios anymore.
Now,
I-
if we're going for bang for buck, I
Oh,
think
no,
the
no, I take
farm
that back.
is definitely the best. They also have the mac and cheese cone.
Wait, no, the 50s prime time. That's my favorite place to eat.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
definitely your favorite. We had a reservation there not too long ago where we went, and the food is very good.
I actually like it better. I like sci-fi and prime time in their own ways, like especially like they're completely different, but they're both set back in the 50s era. One's just like home style, like everybody's your family, and then sci-fi is science fiction style, drive-in themed. But I like primetime's food a lot. They have really good fried chicken
So,
and meatloaf.
Disney Springs. Disney Springs is also an attraction. It is not considered a park. However, it is an entire outdoor shopping experience. We have movie theaters. We have a bowling experience. We also have VR. We have the Star Wars Void, which we'll also be doing a bonus episode with me, Russell, and Justin. So, Disney Springs. For me, my favorite food at Disney Springs, this is a sight to see. It is completely free to go. The parking is free. Everything is free except for actually being in the shops and or in the restaurants and buying food and or gift. Now, the Polite Pig. The Polite Pig has the
Yes.
largest bourbon selection. Their barbecue is actually very good.
It's very good.
I would equate it closer to Tennessee style barbecue, which is not sauce heavy. It is smoked. It
Dry.
is dry. Yeah, dry rubs. Very, very good. Bourbon selection is also over the top. That is also what I am picking for my favorite drink. I don't think that their 2-ounce pours for bourbons that you want to try are overly over the top. I was able to try a Whistling Pig 15 year there, and I believe my 2-ounce pour was $18, which is actually extremely affordable. With that being said, my favorite attraction definitely, even though I have yet to do it, is going to be Star Wars Void, just based on the things that I have been told.
Yeah.
I have yet to go and do it myself. Chelsea?
Food. Well, you kind of took it from me. I also really like the Polite Pig. But I'm going to just void right into my newest favorite place to get a drink. Is that okay? Is that acceptable?
Of course.
Okay, so there's this new place called Wine Bar George. And you
This
would
is
think,
in Disney Springs.
yeah, it's
Okay.
it's kind of new. It's right across from Hangar Bar.
Okay.
Wine, I'm sure, is good because wine is always good. But we went went to go up to the place, and they were like, hey, there's some really cool couches upstairs. So we went up there. Fancy leather couches, very comfy, just the way I like it.
Yep.
And then we met this guy named Rivers, and I was like, dude, I just love you so much. Please make me a drink. And he made me the best drink of my life.
Whoa,
I didn't-
Chelsea, you're married.
I know, but everybody loved him. It was fine. Anyways, they've got really good drinks, specialty cocktails, and then I really do like it when you can just tell a bartender, like, look, I like bourbon, and he's like, what did you want? Like, what's your feel? And I said, I want maybe just like lightly citrus. He made me like literally one of the best drinks I've ever had on Disney property. So they've got really good bartenders there, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Natasha?
I haven't actually eaten at a lot of places at Disney Springs, but
Yeah, in my bar, your favorite place at Disney Springs is Ulta.
No. God, no. I've had the worst
Sephora,
experience
you
with
silly
Ulta in the
goose.
last year.
They're the same thing.
No,
Same
they're
No,
not.
they're not.
the
B-
same thing.
Both owned
They
by
sell
the
different
Illuminati.
products,
Sephora is higher quality.
also higher priced. I don't shop at either anymore.
So,
Not regularly.
so
No,
if,
I
if
like-
not food, what's your favorite thing to do at
No, I
Disney
like
Springs?
Raglan Road. I like Raglan Road's
I
food.
do like, yeah,
Their
Raglan
shepherd's
Road,
pie
yeah.
is off the chain.
Dude, yes. And their bangers and mash are baller.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Raglan Road is probably my favorite restaurant
And
at Disney Springs.
I didn't. What did I? I didn't. I said polite pig. I completely forgot about Morimoto's.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were
duck,
gonna say.
Their duck for two, and the name of the dish is escaping me, but it's a roasted duck.
Duck l'orange.
No, that's not what.
No.
That sounds French, not Japanese.
They always have it like l'orange.
Well, anyway, it's a roasted
Eh.
duck. You get some sort of non bread that comes with it with dipping sauces. It's very good. It's about $50 for two people, which is actually one of the best bangs for your buck that you're gonna get at Disney Springs. So, anyway, guys, that is gonna be our bonus episode where we gave a brief overview on some of our Disney parks, what we liked about those Disney parks. Yes, Natasha.
Never mind.
What?
No, you thought I was gonna ask for her for an embarrassing story.
Oh, we're
I
getting
couldn't
there.
think of, I
Oh.
couldn't think of one.
You rudely interrupted the host.
I'm sorry.
Before I could segue into the embarrassing story.
I was
Segue.
politely waiting on the side.
Oh, you weren't. You were gesturing and leaning to the side and trying to
Usually
call
that
my
means
attention.
when you're done.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
me up.
So, embarrassing story, Chelsea. Do you have an embarrassing story?
I can tell the one that I'm not sure if it's true, for like one that Grandma said this morning.
Well, what do you mean you don't know
Oh.
if it's true? Is it
Okay.
about you?
It is about me, but Mom's here. Maybe she can say if it's true or not. I'll say it, and we'll just see what happens.
Okay.
So apparently, we all went on a cruise as a family.
Okay.
And I
Oh.
went on stage, and they asked. And according to Grandma, I was 12 to 13 years old. I don't remember past like last week. So I
Wait,
really
if
don't
you
know
don't
this is true.
remember it, it's not going to be embarrassing for you.
But it's pretty funny.
Continue.
Okay. So apparently, I went up on stage. The guy asked me what kind of balloon animal I would want,
Oh.
and I said a uterus. Mom, was this a true story? She does not recall, folks.
Your mom is pleading the fifth.
Null and void.
And I
doesn't
can't
even
remember
make-
like what I eat for breakfast.
Let's be
so who
real.
knows?
A uterus-shaped balloon animal is nothing more than a triangular-shaped pink balloon, and that's kind of boring.
Dude, I don't know what happened. This is just something my grandma said this morning. I can't think of anything.
All right. Well,
Tasha, you got anything?
I don't know.
no, you have to save it because obviously you live in the house together with me, and there
Save
are
it.
tons of embarrassing stories that I will more than gladly remind you
Well,
about
that's just rude.
that we will be having. So anyway, this was ConCon's Cantina podcast with our bonus episode.